We have two more series left in the Quake Pro League for this week. We do have Kilsen versus Avik and Sanaku versus Tahang. But to start with, we are going to have Avik versus Kilsen, joined by ZSX. And also, we're going to have DJ Wheat joining us to see how he feels about not just the next two matchups, but also the results from earlier on. Wheat, how you getting on, mate? Oh, I like it. He's actually gone and done it, isn't he?
I did it. I had to. I was telling the guys before I started, I was full on Jesus mode, and it was getting to be too much. So sorry to all the Witcher fans out there. I did it. But I'm very excited for these two matches that we've got, and happy to be here on Sunday as always, gentlemen.
That's all right. You're still looking fabulous, so don't worry. It's not too short, so you're fine.
Thanks, Lethal.
Managed to get away with that perfectly fine.
It's going to grow long again, don't worry. That's what hair does.
I'm sure you're going to make chat well up here about that just in general.
I was thinking about just coming and blaming it on 04 today. Like, he made me cut but John, I decided not to do that, so...
Well, like you said,
yeah, exactly. Well, we do have two more series, like we said, but let's talk about the first series coming up next, which is going to be Kilsen versus Avik. This should be a slobber knocker. This should be all out, no holds barred in terms of like what is actually going to happen. A huge amount of aggression, carnage, mayhem, chaos, you name it. These two always deliver when they're against each other every single time. There's rarely a slow moment, and both his players it is always back and forth. And Dan, I'll start with you. I'm sure you're very excited to start off with this matchup in one of the highlighted series between these two.
Yeah, no, it's good to see Kilsen back, and I think a big question mark is what shape is he going to be in. We've seen him some high highs in those glasses and some low lows, and he's going to have to put on one of the high performances of the day to take out a high-flying Avik, who's been looking fly both on and off the server.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really interesting about this particular matchup, as you mentioned, like Kilsen coming back, we've seen him kind of getting back into his stride a little bit, but the rankings on this one really kind of tell an interesting tale. Avik with a win will likely end up in the number one rank, even above Razy and Wenger. Kilsen with the win, he's going to be staying away from relegation, and also potentially, will have an easier way through the stage finals. I mean, if there is such thing as an easy way through the stage finals, I'm not sure that's it. But if he's further down that ranking, it means that he's going to have some like really tough matches. So just from that perspective, this match is incredibly important.
Yeah, I feel like Kilsen, as a player in general this stage, I'm surprised that he managed to stay away from relegation, not easily, but, the amount of stuff he's actually, had to go through. The fact that, his recovery with his eye, he's had a new mouse as well, which he's trying to get used to, and he said he's going to play it through stage 2. And the fact that because Vale has come back in the map pool, he's not banned any other map. He bans Vale every single time without fail. So it's not like he has a choice of, what he wants to ban first. He's just choosing the map which he dislikes the most, which is Vale. And he's done it almost every single series, or if not every single series. So he's had quite a lot to take on. And the fact that he's still well away from relegation, it's definitely something to be happy with, something to be proud of, really. So we'll have to see. But in terms of like who's going to take an advantage this season, a lot of questions to be asked. Avik has always been very strong. The endpoint man has, done so much damage across the board in the EU region, and the fact that it's only dropped one series is just absolutely absurd. To say that in the EU region against the players like Razy, Cypher, Wenger, there's so many different names. It's so close between all of them. And Avik has always been a player where it doesn't matter if he's been like first or second on the leaderboard, or at times we've seen him like 8th or 9th. He always plays at such a high caliber that it wouldn't surprise me if we saw him in the Quake Pro League for at least another 5 years time, because he's so consistent with his play style and how aggressive he is strategically. It's very, very difficult to topple him or even try and take his place in the Pro League. But this stage he's been absolutely going off, and I feel like this time, Dan, Avik has been looking at his best, tip-top shape.
Yeah, we said it last year about Cypher, that he's back on form and looking scary. Well, Avik, probably even more so, if I'm honest. He seems like he's got a new lease of life in some ways, and has found and regained a form that he hasn't seen since maybe, Quake 4 times. Because he is really on top, and as you say, to take the league away from the likes of people like Razy and Wenger, who've been nominated for so long now, is full credit to how far he's come since he was struggling in the kind of light stages of Stage 1.
I mean, hearing Avik in the interviews as of late, you can kind of tell he's going through one of those cycles where you're really evaluating the game. How am I thinking about it? How am I playing? What are other, I think every kind of pro goes through these moments, but you can definitely tell like Avik is in tune with his own game right now. That makes it even more exciting. And Kilsen, to the point you made earlier, Lethal, right, has made comments that this map pool, not necessarily the map pool that I'm loving and digging right now. So, right, I mean, certainly a little bit tougher coming into this one, and I guess we'll find out during picks and bans for sure.
Yeah, don't be surprised as we'll see what gets banned first. And Vale was banned by Kilsen. That's pretty standard. So as we see, Avik's actually banned Deep Embrace as well. But it looks like we'll be going towards Corrupted Keep, Awoken, and Molten Falls, gents. Dan, I'll start with you.
Interested to see the next come out on Awoken for Kilsen, a bit of a signature champion we haven't seen for quite a while, but Uncorrupted Keep, fairly meta for both these players. Actually seeing a Blazkowicz in Europe, not that common, and k1llsen is just a Avik staple. Awoken, we do see Doom banned, so Ranger is a sensible pickup for Avik, and that leaves kind of non-meta champions in the pool, and it's just a playstyle thing for Kilsen. He can play around his rail, he can play slower, play that mid-game. And then Molten, we have Scale Bearer, which is pretty unusual for Molten, but I'm enjoying it. Going against an Anarchy, which he picked Anarchy into Scale, so let's see what plan he has there.
That's really interesting, actually. I have no idea what to expect there on that game of Molten. That one should be a good one, and not surprised to see this map pool. Given the exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah, just a little bit strange there, Vale, it's understandable, but even though Kilsen bans it every single series without fail anyway, Avik, he's actually been pretty good on Vale as of, his recent form, and sadly Behemoth has been taken out, but he expected it, 100%, he does his research. But Molten Falls, both these players are very good on this map, and it's such a close game every single time we've seen these two going loggerheads against each other. But, the Anarchy versus the Scale Bearer, we know that Avik's going to be keeping his distance for the majority of this game, and it depends on how he wants to try and approach the situation when Kilsen's actually weak. But we call him Railson for a reason. He's got one of the best tracking aims on the circuit, and it's going to be very difficult to try and out aim him in terms of the rail. But if there's any player who could do it, Avik is definitely one of them.
Yeah, well, we saw some of the best team I've seen in Quake Champions against Cypher. It wasn't actually on stream, it was when they played a matchup off stream, and it just looks insane. So if he can continue that level of caliber, then I've seen in the past that he can dismantle Avik. The way Avik plays, quite aggressive in your face, actually plays into the way Kilsen wants to play the map. So he has to be a little bit careful if Kilsen starts connecting with the rails, that he doesn't just fall into that rhythm of just sacrificing his body for nothing.
Yeah, I think that's actually super important. And given what is on the line for both these two players, I would expect, maybe a slow pace to kick these games off. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, Avik, I kind of wish we'd get to see these two on Deep Embrace, to be honest with you. But I understand why Avik decides I'm going to throw this one out. So.
Yeah, because it's actually one of his better maps. Again, Avik's done his research once again just to make sure that doesn't give his opponent any kind of advantage. One of the maps was going to come up. Like if we saw a Ruins or Molten Falls to end things, I think that would have been like the icing, the cherry on the cake, pretty much. And the fact that we see at least one of them, like out of the two, I think it's going to be brilliant. And if it's a 1-all series as well, literally anything can happen between these two, because the aggro between them is just ridiculous to say the least. And the fact that Avik will need to try and outrail Kilsen, just trying to get some kind of leadway into showing some aggression, then it's going to be very difficult for Avik, no matter what stance he's in terms of his form.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm still feeling an Avik victory, though. I think he's got momentum behind him. Kilsen's been a little bit hit and miss, and I think Avik's probably got it in the tank to probably take a 2-1, but I would be very surprised if anyone took this 3-0.
Yeah, I'm same. 2-1, leaning towards Avik. Still think that Kilsen is in good shape, despite some of the time off and kind of recovering from what he's had to recover. But I still think Avik's he's got what it takes to take this one 2-1.
Well, I was going to ask you guys your predictions, but you've already done it for me, so I'm just going to say the same.
There you go.
It is probably going to be 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a 3-0. It's very highly unlikely. It's always back and forth between the two. It's never a game of chess. It's literally just, in each other's face, just making sure they can cause as much aggro as possible. But we'll have to see, it always depends on that final map, really, But the first two maps, they don't really try and, it's not really maps they normally play, like, in terms of, like, what they do against their other opponents, but we'll have to see. But I'm going to back away for now. I'm going to let you two, jog on, crack on, and just cast this series, and I'm going to put my feet up and watch. So I'll catch you guys after the series.
Excellent. Take care. Enjoy your time off. Dan, it's you and me.
Hello, my friend.
How's it going?
I can't.
How's it going?
I can't look at my camera. My eyes are too drawn to the spectacle.
I don't know.
You can't do that. You can't just drop in on us like that without at least a visual warning. But
sorry. I just had to get it done. Yesterday I had some time off, so. But we're here for Quake. It's been a good day too. I've enjoyed all the matches that you guys have had. I think this is definitely this is the better the two featured matches, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, I made sure Lethal didn't get this one, so he's sulking somewhere.
Nice work.
Yeah, got EU for once. I normally end of the day, but here we go. Get to cast Kilsen Avik, which is a brawler.
Yeah, and I'm liking that we're starting on Corrupted Keep. I mean, I said that we'd start off probably a little slow, but because of the map, it's gonna, it'll heat up quickly in the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry about that. Seeing the BJ versus the k1llsen on this one, I'm also excited about this particular champ matchup. And will it be 2-1? I don't know. We'll have to see. I do think that a 3-0 is next to impossible.
Yeah, and I agree with your point about Corrupted Keep. For me, maps without rail, when you have the top end of the spectrum in terms of player caliber, it just separates the kind of the best from the rest, because you can't just find your rhythm where you connect with rail after rail after rail and open up the map. It's all about strategy. It's all about skill and efficiency and positioning. It really shows who has that natural dual skill. Like we think back to Quake Live with Lost World, there's some of the most tense matchups that come in these type of games. So I really do love seeing this match more and more.
Yeah, the other thing, Dan, is that sometimes the initial spawns can just throw everyone's plan out the window on Corrupted Keep, right? And then it just turns into screw it, it's going to be a bar brawl here, and I'm okay with those games as well. Oftentimes, I mean, we've seen it the last couple of weeks, a couple of matches where it just sort of turns in this chaotic initial spawn. Someone's able to just railroad it for a little bit, and then kind of, someone brings it back. Yeah. But regaining control on this map and even holding control, I don't remember who it was a couple weeks ago, but we saw this amazing control over the rocket launcher, just completely denying access to that rocket launcher, and how much that can change the pace and what another player can do. So we are loading into this one. Sorry for the minor delay, both players just getting ready, but I see the loading screen here, and we're going to start on Corrupted Keep. This is our first of two featured matches. Next one coming up is Dehang versus Naku, but now we will embark on a journey, find out if k1llsen can maybe blow Avik's day up and take a victory here, but we'll see as we get started. Take it away.
Starting over on k1llsen over the Blazkowicz, making his way over to the rocket launcher, but there will be a confrontation. The turret comes down early from Avik just to prevent any aggression from k1llsen, but he decides to back off, pick up the lights, and k1llsen slowly and surely needs to make his way over to the lightning gun, but doing k1llsen things, using those audio cues to make sure he knows exactly what's going on with Avik, but he actually misses out on picking up the lightning gun, which could come back to haunt him as he's stuck without any real longer range weaponry.
Yeah, he's not. We'll have to see how he's going to deal with that. k1llsen getting himself the heavy and make his way over to the red room. Might have a chance to embark in a battle here, and we do. LG's out for Avik, and he gets an enormous amount of damage off right there. k1llsen retreating back in the red room, grabbing those health vials, and unfortunately, that initial engagement did not really work out the way that he wanted to, and Avik's LG has always been something to be scared of. So Avik right now with definitely the stack advantage. Great rockets from k1llsen for down below, but that LG once again, he picks up that heavy, Dan, but still so very low. He's got to be careful here as the Mega will be up shortly.
Still doesn't have a lightning gun though, and this is a big problem. He's been bullied on the mid-range so far. I'm not sure why he hasn't picked it up just yet. Once again, he's been bullied away from it. And Avik gets free reign of the light room, can make his way round to the heavy if he wants to, but you can see the route he's taking. He wants to get back up onto that bridge, so if they do meet, it's like this. It's long range. He doesn't want to take any messy, in-close engagements. He's worked his way perfectly for an easy first frag, or should I say, trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was there was definitely kill potential there for Kilsen, but you know, for Avik, that was the best outcome I think you could have. Both players now 1-1, but we've kind of got a do-over here, a restart, if you will, as it doesn't really matter for the single frag, but it comes down to like, where are you going to end up on your weapon and arsenal, and both players kind of back to where they wanted to be. I thought that was smart, though, by Kilsen. Right time to use it. Unfortunately, he didn't just walk away from a clean frag.
Yeah, although he hasn't had the right weaponry, he's the one that's actually been controlling the items more or less so far. Big rocket coming out as well, but it is before the pickup, so not as much damage as it would have done. He's also now a little bit caught here, and he's hit some crazy rockets. He doesn't, but the lightning gun's good somehow, and I'm not entirely sure how Avik's not cleaning this up. It looks like he's making all the right plays. It's just not that clean.
And yeah, I mean, he is able to at least follow up with a second frag and tie it back up 2-2. But I thought he was going to pick that one up too, Dan. I thought flying over the head of Kilsen that he was going to land that LG. Unfortunately, Kilsen got the better of that battle. He just couldn't do much off the spawn, couldn't convert anything. And also, you know, just a lot of chip damage from Avik, right? Whether it is the LG or it is machine gun. There, the turret throws out a nice arc on that one, as that will give Avik the ability to steal away that heavy. And there, once again, just chipping away, get out of range of that LG, fire that machine gun, and does manage to, you know, get him down. Might actually commit to this. Nope.
Jeez, and it's just typical Avik, just barnstorming his way into rooms unexpectedly, catching Kilsen off guard. Unfortunate not to do any damage. He hasn't got a rocket, so he's actually going to be hard pushed to stick around. It spawns just in time, and Kilsen actually doesn't want to make a move anyway, so quite happy to respect one another, trade for the major items. But as you said, Avik is the one dealing more chip damage, and Kilsen loses complete track of him. They bounced around. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there, Wheat.
I think Avik just got the better of that one. Not only on the rocket bounce, but he kind of surprised his opponent there with the LG out now, is defending that Mega, and he does defend, does manage to take it away, knows his opponent's going for the 250s in the red room, does get some additional damage with that LG. And this is a kind of the first time that we've seen, I think, Avik with a much better stack and definitely control. But here we go, rockets versus LG. And Avik just doesn't care. Shoot him at my feet. I'll take the damage. No directs. And he pulls away here for the first time. He's got a 2-frag lead.
I mean, it's just incredible how he does that. And he's the only player that I've really seen do it so successfully. Just has his innate ability, as they do meet over by the heavy. Really early, though, Kilsen, as you will come out of here somehow with a frag. Ooh. He does get trading as Timmy the Turret picks that up. But as I was saying, like, Avik has this ability just to stride into rooms untouched like Jesus. He just walks into a room through rocket spam and takes no damage.
I mean, even more amazing that he's willing to do it versus a BJ who can like very easily just dual wield and say, all right, these 2 rockets turn into your death. But yeah, he's confident in this matchup, man. And 5 minutes left to go. Still a very, very close game. Both players, I think, playing quite well. But there is that LG from Avik coming out big. And right now, Avik is shooting a 33% LG. 1,400 damage coming from that weapon.
Yeah, he's completely outgunning Kilsen in the mid-range. Kilsen's so far winning out on these rocket encounters, but it's not enough as he's going into these fights with so little stack because Avik's efficiency around the map is huge.
Yeah. Once again, Avik at the top of the statue. Has no problem fighting this from this position, using his tri-bolt well. We'll go through and, well, can't really pick up those vials. So out of the teleporter, Kilsen decides not to go through. From the top, Avik is, what?
No, I didn't say anything. I was going to say, before this engagement, Avik's got 10 times as much damage on the lightning gun as Kilsen.
Yeah. It's like, well, Kilsen finally gets himself an LG kill. And I mean, you just watch not only Avik's LG, but when he is fighting against Kilsen's LG, he's ranging it out. And I mean, playing really nicely in that regard. Can't always happen that way, right? You've got to be sure that you've got a place that you can back up to. But in the situation, a fight over the Mega yet again. It is up. Who's going to fall on it? Avik is just going to go in for it. There's that barreling that you were talking about a little bit, and then just keeping that damage going. Just chip damage here or there. It does add up, and look at the stack, right? And k1llsen waiting around the corner, but he takes a ton of damage from 2 rockets from Avik, and this actually could result in a 7th frag, and it does. k1llsen, I don't know if he should have forced himself out and attacked there.
No, unfortunately he's getting, again, just picked apart. He can't keep up with the tempo that Avik's playing. The weapon choice is always on point for Avik. He sacrifices that Mega, but again, he sacrificed it for positioning. k1llsen's going to take so much damage to get out of here. He might end up getting a frag, but look at the damage output from Avik once again. k1llsen is living on the edge. They both are. And k1llsen actually will get this heavy though. But Avik has the weaponry and position to get back and nullify the pickup.
He also just doesn't have the frustration that k1llsen might have, right? There's 3 times that k1llsen is like, this guy is a spit away from dying, right? Like, I should be able to just flick his forehead and he goes down. Somehow Avik continues to weasel his way out of these situations with like sub 15 health. And every single time that k1llsen's like, okay, I've got a line here with my machine gun, here we go. Somehow Avik's still not dying. And then Avik from down below, that LG just continuing to dish damage when he's not necessarily taking damage. Even though it's pretty close, Avik is up by about 800 damage.
Yeah, we've not seen any real effective use of the dual wield. Avik's done such a good job of making sure that k1llsen doesn't have a stack willing to fight. But actually all the frags that k1llsen have got have been pretty messy in fights that Avik has initiated. It doesn't feel that k1llsen's made any plays of himself this map, and I mean it really is GG. I don't see k1llsen getting into this map at all, let alone getting 5 frags now.
No, I think you're absolutely right. We might see one coming out, and there it is. k1llsen is gonna pick one up. 4 frags. It's gonna be pretty tough here, but this is the moment that k1llsen's got to make something happen here. As and you said about the dual wield, right? I mean, turret has definitely been doing its job this game. Dual wield, not so much. And, even the couple times that we have seen it, one resulted in a suicide, the other one somehow Avik just got away.
And the deciding factor for me was just how efficient Avik's been around the map. He's the one that's constantly been putting on pressure. 2,500 damage on the lightning gun to 550. Again, nearly 1,000 damage with the heavy machine gun to 300. So k1llsen has just always been engaging Avik with such little slack that he relied on hitting some immensely crazy rockets to come out with anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even believe that 500 more damage with the machine gun. I mean, it kind of tells the tale.
Yeah.
A lot. Just think about how much damage it's a one bubble. You got to get a second bubble. k1llsen with a nice rocket through the window there. Again, 4 frags, and in 10 seconds, it's just not gonna happen. But a close game. 10-6. I think, although close, Avik clearly was kind of the controller and ultimately the victor here.
Yeah, really well played from Avik. It's just exceptional. I mean, that map could have been, it was 10-6, it could have been 16-6 if more luck went Avik's way. I felt he was actually unlucky to be as close as it was. So he's looking really strong. I don't think it's definitely not k1llsen's best map. Sometimes he has a Barnstormer on there, but sometimes he does ban it out quite a lot as well. So we're moving into k1llsen territory now, back with the rail.
And Avik kind of showed dominance right away, just with his LG usage. He was up so early, not only in accuracy, but just overall damage. And there were a few interesting fights. That was one of them, right? Avik coming in through the back hallway, dishing out that initial damage, and then every rocket jump or bounce was just the perfect rocket bounce. Avik read those nicely. And there was more than one instance in those opening moments of the matchup, Dan, where we definitely saw what could have, like, an exchange that could have gone either way.
Yep.
But a rocket bounce into the wall, lose that momentum, easy target. Those things do happen.
It does. I'm still amazed by Avik's innate ability just to enter rooms and engage and force fights on his terms without taking any real damage. It's just incredible. He's such an alpha player in that regard, and it's very scary. But this is why the rail comes in so handy, because he won't have the same capability to do that if k1llsen's connecting with his rails early. He won't have the confidence to then push, and this is now where we have to see k1llsen make that adjustment.
This will be interesting too, because you bring the rail into play. Kilsen, after a game loss like that, again, not a big one, but this is the map that I would expect he is definitely going to step it up on a little bit here. Now, Avik's been looking pretty good on this map too, so I expect this to be probably my favorite of the series. We'll have to see, but you're going to have to play around the abilities, both players, right? Avik from the Ghost Walk and Kilsen on the orb. So let's see how that's gonna play out. But definitely, to your point, Kilsen's gonna have the arsenal and the equip and the setup that I think he wants to set his pace for this map.
Yeah, I do like the Ranger pick here as well. He means he has a lot more utility than something like a Doom to close the gap if that Ghost Walk is down. If he knows it's down, he can force his way into a room with an orb, or just rocket jumping up and not taking much damage. So he can really raise the tempo, which suits his style, obviously, as and when that fits. And he's going to have to be incredibly selective in order to catch kills. So we know how tricky he is on a Nyx, and it is very painful to play against a very skilled Nyx. So having a Ranger at his disposal should give him the leverage he needs to make those plays.
Yep, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out and who we're going to be watching through, and we'll find out. Let's see. I'm looking at Kilsen right off the bat. It's going to be Kilsen, and we're following him as he picks up the Mega right away, already doing the first blood and dishing out the initial damage here in this matchup. So he missed that RL there. He picked it back up, and now heading over, but both players just stopping. You hear the silence on the map. You just hear the waterfall. That's about it. Ooh, Ghostwalk coming out early, and he sees his opponent. LG is out. This time he gets the jump on it. Avik with the rail on the defense, and he knows that heavy is up any moment. He's going to steal in and grab it, but Avik with the nice rail can't follow up for the kill. Ooh, so close. It like singed his eyebrows, Dan. Kilsen now has himself a rail, but he's very low on health.
Yeah, Avik knows where he's at. He also knows he's got a good window of opportunity before that Ghost walks up, because he obviously knows it was used. Can he connect? Ooh. But back-to-back rails, Kilsen emerges from the game. Says, I now have the weapon I need for you to be afraid.
Yeah, to hit those two back-to-back right after you pick it up, it's got to feel good. Nice rocket through the window. And can he find for the rail follow-up? No, but again, another aggressive Ghost Walk, and it's not going to do much. His opponent heard it too and knows that it's down. Got to be careful here. LG out for Avik, gets a lot of damage, but the aerial spot and the nice advantage that Kilsen has, easy kill for him. Aggressive orb on this one. Not sure I agree with that one. Avik run away very, very low. There's the damage from the machine gun. Not enough to clean up, but Avik in super danger.
Yeah, it is. I actually really like that play. He knew exactly what Kilsen was going for. He had no armor after the engagement. He knew he could close the gap, but it just hit nothing. Really unfortunate. He does get the heavy spawn, so takes that away, but might cost him his life as Kilsen is in the area.
Ooh, almost nails that rail as he sees his opponent rocket jump up to the mid area. This is, I think Kilsen is in comfort zone right now. Again, still very early. Another aggressive Ghost Walk. I love what he's doing here. And then he finds his opponent. He gets a direct rocket right in the ass. And that's going to be 100 damage gone. Both players about similar stack, but there's the Mega and the heaviest up. He goes for it. He does hit the rail on the way down. The lightning gun up the jump pad. Beautifully played by Kilsen. Nicely done.
And this is when Nyx becomes and looks incredibly overpowered. When you put it in the hands of someone like Kilsen that is always so careful with his positioning and hits so much rail, it means he can take these aggressive plays with the Ghost Walk in full confidence that he has the mechanical skill to back it up.
Yeah, just the aggressive Ghost Walk alone, right? You're not using this to get away. Oh no, held up in the air, and we saw the reaction from Kilsen. Spoiler alert, it wasn't a good one. I don't think he was very happy with what it down there, and that might have been going a little too aggressive, a little too soon. You still got to respect Avik and what he is capable of doing. He is going to orb right into that waterfall, take a quick shower here mid-match. We're just 3.5 minutes in, but that's really unfortunate that Kilsen kind of handed away that frag because he had such solid control. And as I was talking about him using that early Ghost Walk instead of defensive, that might have to change here if Avik continues to be given control like this.
Absolutely. Still need to be careful because at the end of the day, you're still an X, you're still fragile. He's very early for the Mega, but he does have, again, the aim just to finish Avik off, not to be able to do enough. Good rail off the spawn as well. He should be able to get across to the Heavy if he wants to. Might be able to bully Avik off of it. No, Avik hits an amazing rocket full. Kilsen's on the run. Does sneak himself away, though.
Yeah, does manage to get away. Both players now going to find one another in the banana hallway. Rockets coming out. And there's a great rail as Kilsen is continuing to stay on with those. He's sitting at 61% rail right now. And Kilsen's going to get another frag. Just, again, a lot of really solid play, Dan. I love how he has been using the Ghost Walk in this particular matchup. Ooh. Dang.
Yeah.
And those rails.
I mean, that was perfect situational play. Yes, he was weak, but he also knew the weaponry of Avik was sparse, and so just abused the fact that he didn't have an LG or a rail. This time he does, but he has no rocket. So he's quite happy just to bounce him around, and Avik is trying his darndest, but he will be going down to give away a 7th frag. It's just a matter of time, surely, to God!
Oh! Good read. Good read by Avik. He's going to pick it up, and honestly, he needed that one right here. Oh my gosh, why didn't he fall on the Heavy instead? But he does manage to get the frag. I guess that's the best thing that you could get out of that one. Kilsen is very low, 7-2, as he's been playing this one smart the entire time. Nice jumping rail there. And although he is incredibly low, he's got everything that he needs to clinch a victory here, even with 5 minutes to go. This is all Avik and all trying to regain control and just run the map.
Exactly, and that's it. Kilsen can just run the map if he wants to. He's at a point now where he doesn't even need to overextend for items. He's quite happy to even trade items. He'll always try and do damage onto one of them, but he's not even content with that. He wants to bully his way in. He's winning these rail engagements. Avik's only hit 25% rail. It's been a big factor in why he's not found a foothold in this game.
And also, Kilsen stepped up his LG game from the last matchup on Keep, right? I mean, he is hitting as much, if not more, damage, and so the rail game is definitely enough to just win it right here. Ooh, almost gets hit or hits through the window there on the Heavy, but Avik is going to get away with that one. And the question then becomes, like, right, Ghost Walk can be used as a way to just get out of jail free, and there, you know, it's going to be tough mountain for Avik to climb here to try to get 5 frags clean in this matchup. Oh, well, it could start right here. Wow, Kilsen balls of steel right here, 7 points of health, and he still somehow manages to hit that rail. What?
Avik trying to goad him and bait him out, but Kilsen's done enough to wait for his Ghost Walk to come up, so they have a lot more confidence now, and the road is long for Avik. He's got himself items, but every single time he makes a move, once again, he's eating a rail, which means he's not able to make the same aggressive plays as we saw on Keep.
It's actually starting to make me worry for Avik here a little bit on Molten as we were, you know, talking about that matchup earlier. But this looks like a completely on Kilsen. And, you know, as you mentioned, there's a nice direct rocket into the Ghost Walk. Will he get a second one? Doesn't. Actually does a little bit of damage, but the rail from Avik, now 4 frags separating these two. And we'll let this game finish before we start talking about the third. Sorry, I didn't mean to get ahead of myself. But as I'm looking over, I'm like, oh man, scale anarchy on Molten, like, and Kilsen's like, his aim feels on today.
Yeah, I mean, there was 1,000 damage difference on the rail, which is exactly the damage difference they had overall. So you can see how important the rail has been in this match, but to Kilsen as a player. So the question is, when you're playing Kilsen, is how do you work around it? You know he's going to get it. You know he's going to hit a lot, but you need to find a way to mitigate that advantage that he has.
Yeah, and I mean, I would not say that Orb has really helped him much at all, right? Not for escape, not for aggression. Whereas the Ghost Walk has clearly been helpful in Kilsen's build up of the lead here. But 4 frags still saving these two, less than 2 minutes left to go. And at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident that Kilsen can just kind of play the cat and mouse, and he can choose whichever role he wants. He can either be a little bit aggressive. He could also kind of play back a little bit. And I think he's already sitting in victory here for map 2.
Yeah, you can see he's not even committing for items now. It's not even worth the risk. It's all about just trying to hit a cheeky rail, delay him, and then just run away. Only use the Ghost Walk in matters of dire need. Otherwise, as you rightly said, it is just kind of strolling to victory at this point. Ghost Walk comes out, but he did hit a rail beforehand. Now it's going to try and guess where he is. He does guess right, and he probably will get a frag, but again, it's how much time can he delay, and it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And, you know, honestly, 8-3. And, you know, we talk about a lot of times, like, looking at the score. Well, hold on one second. Still 4 frags. It's going to be tough. It's got a Ghost Walk in 25. So as long as... but Avik, man, he's picking up the pace here a little bit. Going to use that orb. Finally, it comes in big to get him a 3rd frag. Oh, my gosh. Is the dream alive?
No, I don't think so. Ghost walks out straight away after this. As much as I might want it to be, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not. Had he hit that 2nd rail over there, near the jump pad maybe by the heavy, but not going to happen. And yeah, I was going to say, because like technically, as there it is, that one wraps it up. But you know, technically, k1llsen was playing a pretty impeccable, I'm not going to say perfect, but I'm going to say impeccable game there early on. And it really wasn't until that drop down into the heavy room where Avik got the free, basically LG kill, that, you know, Avik was able to gain some ground. You take that away, if Avik or if k1llsen kind of held on to what he was doing and kind of the strategy that he was deploying, did not go what I would call a little bit aggressive there, could have been just a lot more frags for k1llsen and many, you know, much less for Avik. So yeah, it's a great game by k1llsen for sure. Yeah.
On the flip side, a really pivotal point of turnaround was that failed aggressive orb into rocket combo up by the light armor.
Yep.
That's when the map began to spiral out of control, because Avik literally did no damage, which then opened up a free heavy armor after the mega pickup and gave Avik nothing to work with. And then I really did enjoy the way k1llsen played super aggressive with the Nyx, using that Ghost Walk, caught Avik off guard a number of times, and that's the way you should be playing Nyx. But again, it's only possible if you're hitting as much as k1llsen. So yeah, it becomes very scary when you give him a kill, or when you give him a Nyx in this form.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be pretty confident, you know, to be using aggressive Ghost Walks like that, because we've seen it go really poorly too. And in this particular case, I think it was a great way for k1llsen to start off. You can see he's having fun there, all smiles on the face cam, and he does take that one 9-6, and it comes down to this 3rd and final map. It's Molten Falls. It's k1llsen on the scale and Avik on the Anarchy. What a time to be alive.
Bet you thought you'd never say that, Wheat.
Oh, it's gonna be super interesting. Yeah, I feel, based off of k1llsen's, just his rail was on, his LG was on. This is Avik, I think, has a tough game in front of him. Still, I agree. I think he can win it, but this is going to be a tough one.
I agree. He's going to have to play smart. He can't close the gap. He's going to have to play the rail game more than k1llsen now. And again, hope it's not a trade, and hope he can outrail k1llsen, because if he begins to lose those rail battles against a tanky champion like that and Liv gives up the control, then your life becomes a misery very quickly.
Oh, this will. I don't know. Now's the time. I'm gonna see what chat is saying really quick about the predictions right now. They have got, well, it's a little bit better than I thought. They've got Avik, and no, k1llsen is in the lead on this one. Dan?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with chat. I mean, I don't say that often, but I agree with chat.
We're gonna find out. 10 minutes to go. This could be very interesting. But here we go. 3, 2, 1, and we are live. k1llsen on the scale. His opponent Avik on the Anarchy. And k1llsen is going to get the Mega Spawn, makes his way over, grabs himself a rail, has a rocket launcher. I think he's feeling really good. He gets the first rocket into the bull rush, into the wall. You're going down, Anarchy. What?
How on earth did Avik get that kill? The pummel comes out the flick rail. Don't hit another one, please, God.
Oh, dang. All right, not how I thought this matchup was going to start off.
I mean, did he just close his eyes for those rockets, or what happened?
I mean, he like boosted him up into the air. He hit the arch. It was absolutely just like a
Not again, not
kill
again.
there.
Oh, I thought he got knocked off.
Oh my gosh, the rail hits. It's that skinny anarchy, man. He's like, you know, Sonic Good diet, really small hitbox, hard to hit. I don't know.
Oh,
that was nutty.
Well, this is the game we expected when we see a scale bearer picked.
Yeah, not what I would expect. All right, let's keep an eye on Avik here. He just picked up the Mega now, and again, he's got the speed advantage here. Now things quieting down a little bit. Avik on the top level, just waiting her to pick up there through the teleporter. Unfortunately, that rail hasn't quite turned on yet for Kilsen. And I'm not surprised to see Avik playing from this position. Avik's rail game is certainly where it needs to be. And you even said, Dan, like, that's where Avik needs to be winning on this map. And so far, that's exactly what he's doing.
He also wants to play around this heavy, which is what he's doing now. He can't play sneaky because at the end of the day, he's an anarchy, and he makes so much damn noise that he's going to have to always give away his position, which does give Kilsen a slight advantage, since he enjoys playing a slower pace.
But those two frags early on, like, kind of create an opening for Avik to play this map probably differently than he originally thought he was going to. And, you know, I don't know. I will have to definitely ask whoever the winner is, you know, kind of the beginning of this map, how this all played out. But I would say it's certainly not only Avik get those two frags, but kind of gives him a little bit more flexibility in this matchup. And got that Mega up here shortly. Both major items very, very close in terms of spawn time. And ooh, rail in the back. Wasn't expecting that one.
Mega is up though, so he'll be able to make his way across to it. Had to pop the inject as well. So now it's just play the keep away game. Making sure you're keeping track of Kilsen. Making sure you're always the one to be proactive with the rails. Don't want to take any messy fights in around that heavy armor in particular.
I really like the position that Avik's playing from too, just up here at the top, right? He's taking some nice rail shots from Kilsen, but he's going to hear if his opponent goes up that jump pad and gets some free damage. He's got to clear shots out of the teleporter, and you know, just a great place for, you know, picking up sounds and finding out where the opponent is. So those rails from Kilsen is what Avik needs to be super careful about. If he finds himself without an armor stack, he's going to be in some trouble, which is exactly where he's at right now.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble here. He's just trying to bide his time to see Kilsen. Oh, he's missing a few of the easier rails, which will come back to haunt him now as Kilsen's stack is huge. Avik hasn't got anything up, so Kilsen's making a move. You can see him there. He's just going to drop onto it. Doesn't hit anything once again. The bull rush is there, and he can't get around it.
Oh, feels bad, man. That was perfect use of the bull rush right there. I don't think Avik should have stuck around for that picnic. That was not good at all, and now Kilsen in a good position. I mean, still down, but that was a suicide, so Avik just loses one of his frags. Takes away some of that flexibility that we were talking about early on.
Whoa!
And unfortunate. What? Nail gun for the kill.
Oh, he's going to go aggressive. This is not the move. He's going to try and take the fight. He's so big. He's so tanky. He's got a big stack, but it's nowhere near enough, and that's 3 frag lead. Oh, so much over-aggression from Kilsen here.
Yeah, that was, might be going in again. Bull rush this time. He lands it. That was a mad scale bearer right there, Dan. Like, super, super upset. Here we go. Heavy is up. A rocket does hit, but right into the heavy. And these are the rails. These are the shots that Kilsen needs to hit. You'll notice when Avik was in the most danger, it was when he had no armor stack and had no way to pick up armor, right? Everywhere he would have gone, whether that was back by the rail or just above the Mega, you know, or the heavy, obviously weren't really open paths for Avik. So Kilsen, though,
nice.
Very, very low, and a double rail, and Avik takes a 3 frag lead.
Oh, he actually went for it, you crazy man.
He's making it work. 2 frags now. I think Avik needs to get out of here. I don't know what he's doing, but continue to just kind of plick away with that machine gun. And now making his way over. We've got a little bit more time between these 2 items, and it's going to be interesting, Dan. Like a few more seconds, and one of these players is going to be able to control the whole map.
Oh no, we don't want to run into a scale barrel like that. And this is where the map begins to turn on the tide. As Avik has given away a few free frags, he's got nothing to work with and no major items up. So now he really needs to slow it down.
Yeah, he does. But now k1llsen kind of playing from that top level, which I like that. Avik kind of looking to get his arsenal back. He takes a rail to get a rail. He's very low. Tri-bolt with a huge amount of damage and only a 50 armor stack is making his way over to the Mega, but so is k1llsen as well. On top of it, almost a little out of control.
No way!
My God, dude! Everything is on for k1llsen but his rockets, Dan.
How do you hit 3 directs like that?
I don't know. That is like super rough, but somehow Avik has been able to keep that 2 frag kind of, lead, and it's given him sort of the right. I think what he needs to take this match, constantly making k1llsen get aggressive. It's allowed him to land a few of those double rails that have given him a couple more frags. And here he comes from the back, does hit a nice rail, but the inject and the quick escape coming out from Avik.
Quick escape it was indeed, and that's going to be the moral of the game here, is he's just quite content to deal some excess damage on these items. I'd like to see k1llsen mix it up a bit. He's gone that route every single time he's picked up the heavy, so... Well, that's nice and aggressive, though. Didn't even hear the rocket jump up. Completely surprised Avik from behind. And now look at the stack of k1llsen. No items up as well. He's got the bull rush if he needs it. It's just, can he catch the anarchy? The inject should be up for the next engagements. Will be a bit of a lifeline. But k1llsen is trying to also defend this rail as he knows how pivotal it is to the game plan of Avik.
I like that. If that was k1llsen's game plan, I mean, for these final moments, I think it's good. But the LG comes out. There it is, backing away, perfectly executed into the double rail. Boom, we're tied 5-5. And this is looking like, it's looking like k1llsen has clawed his way back. Can he close the book, or will Avik pull out a rabbit from the hat that he is wearing? This is going to be an interesting final 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. The cards are all in k1llsen's hands at the moment. Look at the stack advantage. He's managed to get a wrangle on how Avik is playing and meeting blow for blow with the rail. Oh no, he actually hits himself and falls onto the ball. k1llsen just decides to get the hell out of dodge now instead of taking another random encounter with rockets in that area.
And now... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and Avik is in a fortunate position to be alive, but actually still contesting for this heavy. He knows he can't give it away for free, but the spam is good from k1llsen. The rail is great from Avik, but again, stack is still very big, and Avik's got no armor to his name, and can't really contest with this Mega either.
He's going to try, though, and he's been pretty persistent about that. He does... Wow, he did. He managed to get k1llsen out of there, and I'm not surprised. Like, k1llsen setting up here for the heavy, I think makes a lot of sense. 40 seconds left. Are we going to go to sudden death? Well, this heavy might determine what happens next, and it's going to be an easy pickup for k1llsen, sitting on an awesome stack for scale. It's going to immediately go on over to the Mega. And yeah, these are, I mean, Avik just looks like these are not necessarily fights that he wants to take. He's got to be really careful here. Great rail from k1llsen, and that puts Avik in a really, really rough spot here for the final 10 seconds.
He pops inject. He needs his heavy. He's got to go for it. k1llsen has to get out of there. He doesn't take as much damage as he would have done. Lots of 2s instead of 6s, but still, Avik burned the heavy and now wants to contest this Mega. Huge rail from k1llsen. That will make Avik think twice, but nope, Avik doesn't care. He's still going to contest. Oh, he has to get this now. He has to get this now. Another rail connects, but it is after the pickup, and k1llsen will be dropping onto it. Another rail! And now k1llsen knows the game is in his hands.
Unreal. Yes, and Avik's in a real rough spot. No armor really to pick up. He's going to have the heavy up, but Kilsen is right on top of it. He's going to get the one over by Mega, maybe still sitting with no armor at all, and Kilsen in a great spot to potentially take this one 2-1 on the middle layer now. He's going to head on over to the Mega. Avik is just not in any position to try to... Oh my God! The huge shotgun blast and the rocket to react. 5-4. I did not expect that to end in a suicide. Unreal.
I mean, bullet in a China shot right there. He just Avik disappeared in a matter of a second. Insane set. I mean, they both played out of their skin all series long. So full credit for Avik to make it as close as it was. But then Kilsen, he seems back. We said his rail was scary. How do you counter it? And Avik thought he had the recipe, but in the end, it turned out he didn't.
Yeah, there were so many interesting moments and sort of periods during that game. You know, the early 2 frags and kind of what went down. We had the exchange, the suicide to drop it down to 0 and to 1. And, like the few times that Kilsen was just like, wait a second, I can just kind of be a bully in this matchup. Yeah. And I feel like that's how he got most of his score back. But let's bring Lethal back in and see what he has to say about it. Lethal, you with us?
I am now. Yes, I just can't believe it ended like that. After all that, what just happened with the sudden death and the back and forth frags, and props to Kilsen as well. He was down 5-3, like by 2 frags against an Anarchy, against as a champion like Scalebearer. It's very, very difficult to capitalize and just try and not only keep your opponent guessing anything like that, but to flank as a Scalebearer. When you've got the mobility and speed of Anarchy, it's extremely hard. And the amount of fakery you saw, when he was going towards LG, he instantly turned back and pretended to bull rush from rail and went instantly back again. He had to try and do so much. And as a Scalebearer, props to Kilsen. It's so hard to, try and keep your opponent like suffocated or trapped in any way, especially when you're, a couple frags down with only a few minutes to spare. But I'm not gonna lie, the ending, that's not what I expected. I expected maybe Avik to react a little bit quicker to audio cue and then turn straight back. But when he just went straight in like that, that was, again, the least of my worries. I did not expect that in the slightest. But again, great series overall.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about that one. And Kilsen is going to take it 2-1. Look at that. Look at that pop-off.
He's loving
very
it.
Happy. And honestly, Kilsen need that. Sitting in the number 6 spot right now, I think that's going to, make him feel a little bit more comfortable going into, the final week and then the stage 2 finals. Avik, that doesn't, change his ranking too much, but keeps that number 1 out of his hands. So great matchup though. Yeah,
great matchup overall. It's very difficult for Kilsen. You've got to remember, he even had 63% rail against an Anarchy in that kind of, in terms of how that actually progressed in game. It was very, very difficult to achieve, and he managed to do that. It's very difficult to play the range game with Kilsen, considering, he always has the positional advantage no matter where he actually needs to be or where he needs to go depending on the items. But we do have Kilsen to find out exactly what he thought about that entire series. I'm sure he's wiping the sweat off his forehead after that last map, considering what exactly happened on Molten Falls. But Kilsen, are you there? How are you doing?
Pure 50-50. It's kind of a shame.
No, we're very happy for you. Congratulations for that series win. We know you've been through a lot this stage coming in. We know Vale's not one of your favourite maps, of course, coming in. So that's your first ban, kind of, beats the purpose in terms of like map bans, map picks, etc. So, it's not a great way to start things off. Of course, your road to recovery as well. We're happy that, you're recovering slowly but surely and still playing your A game, pretty much S tier, which is just ridiculous stuff. Talk a little bit about that third map and final map, because you were down by 2 frags. You're down 5-3, and we know against, an Anarchy as a Scalebearer, it's very, very difficult. You had to fake a lot of audio cues and keep your opponents guessing. What was your game plan during those last few minutes? Because we know how difficult it is to kind of fake a lot of the audio out, especially on a map like Molten Falls. You were flanking back and forth, and we know how hard it is just to try and trap your opponent in some kind of corner, like to suffocate him. So what was your thought process
Actually,
going
it's still
during
good
those
news
last
for
few
you
minutes
anyway.
in Molten Falls?
Can we go to the leaderboard?
Quicker than I am, and just gonna run away as soon as he hears me. So I try to make a closer step, and then Avik actually at that moment always made like some kind of steps in whatever direction he was thinking about, and and the second try for me, I just did the same, and it actually paid off. Like he moved around on the other side of the map, and I was just going for that way also, and then just taking my shots, and also I was able to get the control there at the 5-3 mark, and of course that helped a lot, since massive stack on scale is very scary.
How close were you to breaking your mouse when you missed all 3 rockets for the first frag, and then also ate all 3 rockets on the mega health somehow?
That actually was so insane. Like especially on I think the 2-0 when I pushed him with the bull rush like up the sky, kind of.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, this has to be my frag. And then he makes some weird moves in the air, and like everything is missing, and that was kind of crazy. Like there's only Avik who can pull off moves like that, just out of his crazy mind.
Yeah. I want to congrats, Kilsen. I would talk a little bit about game number 1. Quite a bit of back and forth on that one. Avik obviously taking it, but what do you think was the big difference for you on that matchup? Right, it seemed like it was definitely a battle of chip damage, and Avik seemed to kind of be winning that battle. Can you just kind of break down how game 1 felt to you?
On game 1, I mean, like you said, like chip damage, and he was crazy, was hitting a crazy ton of machine gun, and I couldn't keep up with that actually, and because of that, like I really didn't have a lot of choice to make there, and I also been struggling with weapons on the map and also my presence on the map, and he was just able because of that to run the map, ready. Unconvincingly there, going from A to B, from B to C, and then just do the same again. And in between, he was just shooting me with machine gun, and he was just hitting like crazy. And I had a real hard time to somehow trap him there, because I also lacked all the weapons, and didn't find the answer to the way he sees me playing. But overall, anyway, CK seems to be one of my weaker maps this stage so far. So I've right after the map, I've been thinking about how could I prevent situations like these for the future, because it has been a good map of me in the past, and I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be again.
Awesome.
No, you played very well indeed. Congratulations on your series win once again. The probability was very low. I think you knew that deep down when you're a couple of frags behind, but you made that comeback possible, and well done. And obviously, we're very happy about your recovery as well, and we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, thank you. Very happy to have been here.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's just very strange, especially with how anticlimactic the final frag was between the two. But, another great series, and now we've still got another one to go ahead shortly. It will be Tahang versus Zenaku. It will be the final series of the day, so stay tuned. We'll be back in a few moments.